Negotiations are continuing on Capitol Hill as Congress races to get a reconciliation bill on the president's desk by July. Our next guest says his support requires significant changes, adding to the number of Republicans still on the fence. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Chip Roy. Congressman, it's good to see you. And, there's on the one hand, I think that, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And there's been times in the past where I've seen you on cable and thought, well, that guy seems a little intransigent at times. And, sometimes I think you're going to have to get whipped by someone. But on this thing, I think you're 1,000% right on Medicaid. And Republicans are wimping out, and they know they're wimping out. But I don't know if they've got an alternative, because you got, a lot of your peers are going to lose re-election in places where Trump barely won. So it's tough, but you're right. On Medicaid, they are basically entrenching that deeply flawed Obamacare Medicaid expansion that benefits able-bodied men at the expense of people that really need it. And the Republicans aren't doing anything about that.
Yeah, well, the President of the United States, President Trump, and his Secretary of Treasury Bessent, are doing a fantastic job, and the Secretary has laid out an objective of obviously getting our deficits down to 3% of GDP. Through strong economic growth, through the tax policy that we want to extend that the President put forward, I believe that's one piece of the puzzle that we must go do. But right now, we are not going to address the key drivers of spending that will make it impossible for the President and the Secretary to achieve that objective. Bond markets are on a knife's edge. You know that, and I know that. And that is necessary for the free flow of capital to have that economic growth. If we continue to allow Medicaid to consume our budget and allow us to continue to drive that budget up so deficits go up, then we're not going to be able to achieve those objectives. Medicaid right now is now $1 trillion higher baseline than when we came in under Biden. We are spending $620 billion a year on Medicaid compared to $400 billion in 2019. And if we allow this to continue, where we're, as you said, continue to fund the able-bodied in massive expansion states, heavily in blue states, if we were doing that at a 7 times dollar value, imagine that. If you're listening to this, we, the federal government, are funding Medicaid 7 times higher for the able-bodied than for those who need it, the vulnerable, the sick, the people who truly Medicaid was designed for. What kind of a country does that? It's ridiculous. And by the way, if we do this, we are going to cement Obamacare, and the 10 non-expansion states like Texas will have incredible pressure to expand, and that will eat up all of the so-called savings in this bill, which, by the way, are backloaded. You know that, and I know that. And if you have backloaded savings, they never materialize. That means deficits go up, and under our bill, debt will be $56 trillion in a decade. That's not winning. We've got to change it. Republicans should do better.
I mean, even the work requirements don't happen immediately. Those don't even, I mean, that's such a like sort of a mealy-mouthed little provision, and it's not even until 2029, right? When that kicks in. The only thing, Congressman,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I couldn't believe it when I read those were the provisions, that the work requirements were supposed to be the core engine of Medicaid reform, which isn't good enough. You have to deal with Medicaid. You have to deal with the expansion population. You have to deal with the money laundering. But the work requirements were basic. They don't kick in until 2029. They have waivers even once they kick in. And by the way, we're not even talking about the Inflation Reduction Act and repealing those subsidies that go to Chinese companies and big corporations. Most of those don't kick into 2029. My friend Alec Epstein, who's genius on this stuff, has been poring over the language, and most of those subsidy reductions don't kick in until 2029. So we're going to continue to push these Green New Deal projects, weaken our grid, which we need strong grid. Yeah.
And instead of this, this tepid, bill that we're talking about, even the way it is now, the Democrats are already going to demagogue the living hell out of what Republicans are doing where it is right now with what you're talking about. So why not do something actually substantial? You're going to get it either way.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal was great on this morning before last, where they pointed out, look, you guys are taking in all the arrows because you're touching Medicaid. They're going to write all the ads that we're pushing people off the cliff, and so we should do the right thing. Let's do the fiscally responsible thing. But here's what's really important. Let's make sure that people who are vulnerable and are sick, they're the ones that the program is focused on. Let's preserve capital and free up our healthcare system so we can drive down healthcare prices and free it up for the average hardworking American. We have plans to do that. Strong, robust health savings accounts, getting the competition back into the system. We can do that, and you can do that by drawing down all these subsidies on Medicaid, which are subsidizing blue states and massive expansion states at the expense of the non-expansion states, and the vulnerable at the expense of the vulnerable for the able-bodied. I think that's a mistake. Look, I think it's pretty simple. We should not be giving more to the able-bodied than the vulnerable. We should not be giving more to Medicaid than Medicare. We should not be giving Medicaid to anyone who is ineligible, including those who are illegal. And we should kill all the scams that blue states are using to launder federal money to fatten Parenthood and all of their ridiculous programs. Republicans should lead to support the president. They're not right now. I can't support the bill as it is. And by the way, intransigence is the right thing to do in this town when we're $56 trillion in debt in a decade. I didn't come here to do that to my kids and grandkids. Then
you got the reality of the situation. And how many people are with you on this? And is it enough to scuttle the deal? And they're whippable. Most of them are whippable, are they not?
Well, there's a good chunk of my colleagues that are with me on the fiscal conservative side, but they're also struggling because they're deferential to the president, which I understand, wanting to get the tax policy.
He'd like to do it, too.
We all want
he would like to do it, too. But he's a realist, and he's a deal maker, right? But go ahead.
But you also have the SALT caucus who want to have those massive inflated state and local tax deductions for blue states and for the high tax states. So this is the conundrum we're in. That is what it continue down this road without changes. Yeah. And I've got a bunch of colleagues who agree.
Your feeds, we're getting some hits. And if you had just frozen completely when you were trying to make that point, the conspiracy types would have been that we cut you off. So I'm glad at least you came back wouldn't they? I'm glad you came back to finish your thoughts on that. We'll see. I wouldn't want to be Mike Johnson at this point, though. It's going to be a tough road. Tough row.
Well, we've got to deliver for the American people and deliver for the president, so hopefully we'll get there.